Hello students, now let's move to the solution for critical section problem, which is Peterson's solution. So this is a software based solution and this applies only for two processes. Okay, now these two processes have two shared variables. One is turn, which is an integer, and flag, which is an array, which is of type boolean. Okay, so boolean can have only two values, which is true and true or false, and this array is of size 2 because it allows only two processes. Okay, so what is this variable turn? Turn indicates whose turn it is to enter the critical section. What is this flag array? It is used to indicate if a process is ready to enter the critical section, then it has to set its flag to true. That is, process PI is ready. I can say that this solution is a selfless solution. That is, it involves two processes, right? So two processes can be P0 and P1. Okay. So it's like if I wish to enter, then I have to set my flag to true. Okay, so if P0 wishes to enter, then it has to set its flag to true. If P1 wishes to enter the critical section, P1 wants to enter its critical section, then it has to set its flag to true. Why did I call it selfless? Because if I set my flag to true, which indicates that I am interested to enter my critical section, I will also ask the other process if it is interested to enter its critical section. So it is asking each other, I wish to enter, but do you also wish to enter? So it is such a question asked by the processes to each other. Okay, that is the significance of this turn. Let me tell you in the coming slide. Okay. Okay, so here we have a algorithm for process PI. Okay, so this is with respect to PI. So this is a infinite condition. So as I said, we are seeing this particular algorithm from the perspective of PI. Okay, now so PI wishes to enter. So if it wishes to enter, it has to set its flag to true. Yeah, PI has to set its flag to true. So I also call this is the selfless process. So it will give the chance to J. Okay, so it wishes to enter, but it will also give the chance to J, and it will check here. PI will check if J is also interested. So as I said, flag is to check if the other process is interested. So if J is also interested, that means if J is actually interested, then it would have set its flag to, yeah, it would have set its flag to 1, right? So if J is also interested and turn is also given to J, right, then what happens? Then PI will allow J to be in its critical section. So here you have a semicolon, right, which means if this while condition is true, then this condition will be looping. That means the process J will get a chance to execute in its critical section. So PI will wait until J finishes. So if you consider the same code with respect to J, that means J, after it enters its critical section, when it comes out of its critical section, it will set its flag to 0. That is indicating that it is no more interested because it is done with its job. So it will set its flag to 0. That is when it sets its flag to 0, and when we check here, flag J is equal to 0, which means J is not interested anymore. That is when PI can come into this critical section. So when this condition is false, only then PI can enter to its critical section. Okay, so after PI is done with executing its critical section, it will eventually set its flag to false, indicating that it has now completed its work. So it will now give a chance to the other process by setting its flag to false, indicating it is no more interested and it will be in its remainder section. Okay, I hope you have followed this. So similarly, if you consider this for process PJ, I can modify this as flag J is equal to 2, which means J is interested to enter, but it will give a chance to process I. So it will check if I is interested and turn is also I. That means it will allow I to enter into its critical section. It is I's critical section. If I is not interested, then J can enter to its critical section, and after it is done, it can set its flag to false. That is how P0 and P1 alternatively goes into their critical sections by providing a solution to critical section problem. Now, as I told you, a critical section problem should always satisfy three conditions. So one is mutual exclusion. So what is mutual exclusion? At a time, only one process can be in their critical section. So we have clearly seen that when it is P naught in the critical section, P1 will be waiting. That is when Pi is in the critical section, Pj will be waiting, and when Pj is in the critical section, Pi will be waiting. So there is mutual exclusion. Okay, second one is progress. So what is progress? So here we have seen that the two processes are very selfless. That is, even if they wish to enter into their critical section, it will always ask the other process if that process is also interested to enter into their critical section. This is how they ask each other, and then they enter into their critical section. So Pi will allow the progress of Pj, and Pj will always allow the progress of Pi. Okay, so progress is also satisfied here. What about the third one? Third one is bounded waiting. In bounded waiting here, P likewise, as I said for Pi will allow Pj also to execute sometime, and Pj will also allow P0 to Pi to execute sometimes. So none of the processes go into an indefinite loop. That is, it does not keep the other one waiting forever. Okay, so both get equal chances to enter into their critical section. This is how Peterson's solution work. I hope you have understood this, guys. Thank you.